first place that y'all went though? The first trip was to
Dominican Republic.
the DR. Okay.
Oh man, that first trip to the Dominican Republic. Like now, man, listen. Let me just get to the point because you get a lot of people who just like off the rip. They hear DR, they hear Colombia, they hear these countries. Oh, y'all just going to prostitutes and this and that, and and that was my perception before I ever went. It was kind of like, what am I going? I seen cats with pictures showing me the big booties and swim pools and all of this and everything, and it was like, man, of course I want to go see it. But that was my perception of it. But that's not what hit me. You get
right. Yeah, let's talk about that.
That's not what hit me.
Because that's what everybody's enamored with. That's what everybody wants to go for because that's what all the stories are about. So
now, here's the thing. That ignited my masculinity.
There you go.
Now, and it's not necessarily the sex that it ignites the masculinity and the alpha in you. It's how women look at you. In this country, we hear the narrative, well, that's because you got money and this and yeah, but you're also, when you start to go over there and learn about the culture and see you're coveted, like you're something that's valued in other parts of like masculinity is value, men are valued. You see what I'm saying? To have a man at home is like, but we don't see it like that. We take it for granted here in America. And you get the narrative, well, that's what you should do and this and that. You get that from women as black men. A lot of times you feel like the pressure of the world. And now you leave out of the country and you go to a place where they're not looking at you and saying, well, this is what you should do. They're trying to assist you. They're trying to help you. And you're, as a black man, I never really felt that America necessarily valued me. So it was like, what was the benefit, of being a black man? Like, shit, you might get shot by the police or
What do you think made that change in America? It existed at one point.
I think it existed within our families, but in the larger context of society, we've always been kind of,
I'm gonna say 1955.
1955
is you can pinpoint it because remember they declared welfare from after the Great Depression after 1922 to 1932. They declared welfare 1934. Caucasian Americans were the only one allowed to receive welfare and keep their husband at home. Black Americans was not allowed to receive welfare until 1955. Now, after we received welfare, our women were the only women, and to this day, welfare was supposed to be for the family, not for the children and the wife. So, what the Democrats did, they gave all of the women that were on welfare, Caucasian women, jobs as caseworkers. That's where you get the white caseworkers from to come into the homes. And so the white caseworkers didn't want the black women to have a husband at home, so they made them choose. So the black women got rid of the husbands. They chose the government at that point. 1955, you start and you see the bigger trickle effect. Then from there, you'll see the abortion, the legalization of abortion follow right behind it.
Right. Lyndon B. Johnson. That was,
all of it falls in order.
Yeah. What did he say?
Because now we get to the nuts and bolts of it.
Yes.
Because you'll see, and I've seen, black women on social media saying that, no, we want our black men, but you're saying you don't experience it in the dating cycle.
Well, they only want us, Tina said something a while ago, they only want us to treat us as dogs. We're convenience at this point because they have everything else. They have a net, a safety net.
America subsidizes women. Like, maybe that's where like some of the argument comes from. And I was on a social media post one time and I said some shit and I was getting death threats. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? They get serious about this shit. Listen, it's no argument. Women are subsidized here. And you say that to a woman in America and they get offended by it and they're ready to fight. And it's like, they want to beat on their chest like, I'm this American woman. I cook, clean, I take care, and you're not telling the whole story. You're not telling the whole story. And I can say this because no woman can run up on me talking about I did all this because I fucking raised my kids. So miss me with that bullshit. Like, as a black man who handles his business, you get all these women that want to run up to you and tell you about how fucked up their man is. Well, he ain't a man, motherfucker. Like, stop talking to me about, y'all know, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, we look at shit differently. So it's like, if you can't even recognize who a man is, you don't even need to be saying here talking to me with this shit. But here's the thing that I would really, really get to that's the difference is they're subsidized. You got, if you're a man, let's just say you got half a man, whatever the fuck, and you get child support. If you don't get child support, you get welfare, Title 20, housing, tax relief credit, earned income tax credit on the child. I mean, America supplements women here, and that doesn't happen everywhere in the world.
It does not happen at all.
You go to other countries and you see a woman have a kid. She have a kid. She had that kid, and she on her own. They don't even look. And I'm not saying, you know, we get into judging cultures here. We're like, it shouldn't be like, well, nah. The problem is America's in a bubble, and people in America don't realize you not like the rest of the world. Everybody here is fucked up.
So what about the single dads, that single parent dads that they don't get any other those benefits?
No.
Well, okay, let me just say this. First of all, they don't control who gets the woman controls who gets the kids. I mean, let's be honest. The woman controls who gets the kids, because if she says, I want the kids, she can beat you in court. If she says she wants alimony, she wants all of this. The court system, when it comes to marriage contracts, is not fair. When I went through my divorce, I didn't even want none of that, bro. Listen, I was like this. I just want this shit to be over. My son came to stay with me. My daughter went to stay with her. But I assumed I assumed the responsibilities, and I had to climb out of everything. When you know, the kids were with me, if I'm carrying a lion's share, I don't give a fuck about that. That's just me as a man. But you have to ask yourself, if it was the shoe was on the other foot, would it have went like that? Like, if it would have been, do you see what I'm saying? And if she decided, hey, I want to take the kids and I want to get, you know, men usually in this country don't control the narrative of who goes with the kids. Okay. But beyond that, I just don't think the world looks at us the same with the services. I can't sit here and say no man can't go.
The world or the country?
The country to me. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. The country. But the country looks at it like, hey, everything goes in favor of women here, and then other countries don't. What you gonna tell them?
I'm looking at the statistics.
What is it?
So, which race has the highest marriage rate in America? So, Asian's number one. White race, Asians at 63%. White race is at 57%, but all of it's down. And the black race, as of 1995, is only 33% of marriage.
I was gonna say, so I mean, even with you see a lot of white dudes going out of the country too. Right?
Yeah, it's off the rails.
It started in 1955,
yes.
But at this point, because of the liberal agenda,
yes,
it's spilling over and impacting white America.
America's a bubble. America's a bubble. Women in America don't need men. They don't. It's safe enough. You know, you got a few.
911.
Yeah, they got 911. You got police.
Electrician. Anything a woman can do, she can pick up a phone and get it.
Do you realize, like in the countries we talking about, like you go to South America or Central America, one of these islands. These women can't go to the bank by themselves.
They can't go to the bank by themselves.
Are you crazy? Are you fucking nuts? You think they gonna?
You gotta let this sink in. This is modern day time. Over there in South America, most of the women can't go to the banks by themselves. They have to have a man with them.
Wow.
And they're not over there talking about, I ain't scared of no man.
No.
Shit.
They go get their man.
And that motherfucker will snatch
and
them and everything they got.
Snatch the life out of them.
I mean, it's the country's just, and it is poor. The conditions aren't.
And certain women can't do certain jobs.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be a taxi driver in these countries. That's a man job.
Yeah. So America, we
make it very difficult for you.
We think that the way we live is the way the rest of the world lives. You see what I'm saying? and it's not. You know, I saw a guy. He was talking about the Afghanistan. You know, like one of the biggest problems they said in Afghanistan was because American military was trying to push American values over in Afghanistan. They over there like, oh, you need to have women and integrate and this and that. Well, that ain't the motherfuckers who can fight the Taliban. You get what I'm saying? Like, so you go to, here in America, man, I see hear women all the time, like, talking about beating a dude's ass, man. Like, look at it. We got cross genders and shit like this. Like,
that's true.
Are you serious?
That's true. And so America has pushed the agenda for gender equality, as well as racial equality. Has that hurt the country? Is it culturally? And when I speak culturally, I mean American culture.
Yeah, I think it's hurt the country, and I think because you in order to raise up and balance out the country, what you said is I know in order for me to elevate women, I gotta hold men back. and women will probably, I don't give a fuck no more. I'm sick of all this fucking bullshit.
It's a phenomenon, though. I would say that is a true phenomenon that you I won't say starting. I would say that, in the organizations that I've worked in, the administrative positions have been held mostly by women.
Yeah, but it starts in school with the little kids. Like if you get a group of now they play integrated sports. Like, so now you're gonna have like a soccer team, intramural sports and things like that at the school, but they're pushing the little boys not to play aggressive. Oh, let her kick. That was never in our day.
That's right.
It goes against the whole concept of competition. I'm out at a soccer game once and they're fucking like walking. And I go call my son. I said, listen, man, what the fuck are you doing? And my ex-wife got mad at me about the shit. And I'm like, no, I don't give a fuck. If she gets across you because she's a girl, beat her. Score, do whatever. Because we out here to compete. It would be different if that was America, but America's not. It's about trying to balance everything out. Let everybody win. There are no losers in this stupid ass mantra. And we done went too far with it. And now men are scared to be masculine anymore. You got the Me Too movement. You got all these movements and shit. I don't even listen. And now they want their cake and eat it too. So you got women like, men don't holler anymore. I don't fucking say shit to none of these women over here, bro.
You remember in New York they're trying to pass a law for the construction dudes not to whistle at the women? Y'all remember that when we were coming out?
I remember that.
They're trying to make it a law.
Man, this is the stupid shit. Like, you go to the gym, every fucking woman that's in the gym got a bad body, they're gonna let you know it. I don't see them working out in sweats and shit like that. But the way American society is, they looking at you like, don't look at me, and everybody's like, I don't speak to nobody. I just stay in my fucking lane. That's counter to what you experience when you leave the country. When you leave the country, every woman who walks by you is staring at you like, do I look good? Like, I want you to look at me.
I
want you to acknowledge me.
So talk about that a second. Because that's true. So not only in the gym, but the way women are dressing now, just across the board. We're not even talking about only the ones that are fit and everything. Across the board, they're just dressing provocative. They're just dressing extremely revealing, and then they obviously they want attention, but they want attention from specific men, and then so then. The men don't know who's the specific men. So then if you give them some attention,
listen, women are winning. They're winning over here. They're winning over here. This
It's-
shit does not happen outside of this country.
So James Brown was wrong. It's not a man's world.
It's a man's
It's a man's world, but not in America.
So it's not a man's country
It's not
in
a man's
America.
country.
In America. Okay.
I mean, you think about